The wrong basement bar feels like a sad afterthought, and I've walked into plenty of them. In client projects, the biggest miss is always the same. Too much stuff, not enough function. I'm Brad Smith from Omni Home Ideas, and after 15 years redesigning living spaces, I've learned what actually makes a basement bar feel inviting, useful, and worth showing off. Stick with me for the top 16 basement bar ideas, because the best ones aren't just pretty, they solve real space problems. A pallet bar sounds clever until you're wiping up condensation and the boards start splitting at the edges. I've seen a few of these go wobbly fast because the wood isn't flat, so the bottles lean and the top never feels solid. Fine for a weekend project, but not for daily use. Floating shelves look clean, but they get messy fast if you don't hide the glassware and stock in the right spots. I like them for a narrow wall, yet you've got to keep the shelf depth around 10 to 12 inches, or the room starts feeling crowded. Pretty, yes. Practical, only with discipline. A live edge slab gets attention, no question. But the thing nobody tells you is how much maintenance the bark edge can demand. I've had clients love the look and then hate the crumbs and drips that collect in the uneven spots. Seal it well and keep the profile around 1.5 to 2 inches thick so it feels substantial. Farmhouse Shiplap works best when it's restrained, because too much white paneling down in a basement can feel a little theme park. I like it behind a bar sink or shelf run, where the horizontal lines make the room feel wider. Just use moisture-resistant paint, since basements love to test finishes. A rustic reclaimed wood bar has real character, but only if the surface is sanded enough that sleeves and cocktail napkins don't snag. I've used boards that still had old nail holes, and that can be charming, until someone sets a drink in the wrong spot. Great texture, just don't skip sealing. A classic pub-style bar earns its keep because it gives you storage in the exact places you actually reach for things. Under the counter, behind the bar, and right at eye level. I like the lower rail detail too, since it keeps stools from chewing up the base. It feels lived in without feeling sloppy. A stone accent wall behind the bottles adds weight, and that matters in a basement where everything can feel a little too light and flat. I've found rough stone works best when the shelves stay simple, because too many finishes compete. Keep the grout tight and the lighting warm, or it reads cold fast. A wet bar with a sink sounds like a luxury, but the real win is cleanup. I always push for a 15-inch minimum landing area on one side, because if the sink is jammed into a corner, you'll hate using it. Stainless is fine, but a deeper basin hides the mess better. Backlit glass shelves do a lot with very little wall space, and they're a smart move when the basement ceiling feels low. I've installed them where the bottles become the decor, which saves you from stuffing the wall with extra art. Just use frosted LED strips, not harsh point lights, or it looks cheap. A black bar feels sharp, but only when the lighting is doing the heavy lifting. I've seen flat black cabinetry disappear in a dim basement, so I always pair it with brass, ribbed glass, or a lighter counter. That contrast keeps the space from feeling like a cave, which is the last thing you want. A coastal light wood bar nook can make a basement feel less underground, and that's not a small thing. I like it because pale oak, cane, and soft white finishes bounce what little daylight you get. The trick is keeping the palette restrained. Otherwise, it starts reading beach house costume instead of calm and easy. An industrial pipe and brick bar has grit, but it only works if the brick isn't fighting the rest of the room. I've had better results using one real brick wall and keeping the pipe hardware minimal because too many exposed parts start looking like a set. Strong look, just don't overbuild it. A wraparound L-shaped bar earns its spot because it solves the biggest basement problem: dead corner space. I've designed these where one side handles prep and the other side handles serving, and that split keeps traffic from piling up. If you've got the footprint, this layout just works harder than a straight run. A basement sports bar with a TV is where layout really matters, because the screen can't just be slapped on the wall and called done. I always check sightlines from every stool, and I keep the TV center around 42 to 48 inches above the bar back. Otherwise, half the room ends up craning. A speakeasy dark moody bar is the one people remember, because it controls the whole room with light and shadow. I like it in basements, where you can use 2700K lighting, velvet stools, and dark millwork without apologizing for the darkness. It feels intentional, not unfinished, which is a big difference. The cozy corner build takes the top spot because it fixes the most common basement mistake: wasting a small nook on a bar that's too big. I've squeezed one into a 5 by 6 foot area with a 24-inch counter depth, and suddenly the room feels intentional. That's real livability, not just a pretty photo. A good basement bar doesn't need to be huge. It just needs smart storage, durable finishes, and a layout that fits how you actually host. That's the difference between a room you use once a year and one that earns its keep. If you want more practical design ideas, hit subscribe, give this video a like, and visit omnihomeideas.com for more resources. I'm Brad Smith, and I'll see you in the next one.